Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Horse Center this beautiful Tuesday, the day before opening day of Tampa Bay Downs, which I am beyond psyched about. And I'm Jamie Martinez, of course, and with me, as always, we have the lovely, stupendous, intelligent, incredible, ever-present Swiss Army Sean. And we also have a very special repeat guest tonight, friend of the show, and one of our personal favorites here. She gave us our most famous quote of all time, Apprentice Jockey Madeline Rowland. Welcome to the show.
I'm so happy to be here.
We are so happy to have you. And as I said, tomorrow is opening day at Tampa Bay Downs, which is basically your home track. It's your home track in my eyes because you just absolutely took us by storm last year. Not an easy thing to do here. This is a very salty jocks colony. So thanks for taking time out of that prep to be here and talk to little old us. We really appreciate it.
Of course, when you guys asked me to do be on the show again, I didn't even have to think about it. I loved it last time. It is an awesome thing you guys do, interviewing a bunch of people in this sport, getting to, kind of see their opinions on things and how they view the sport. So it's awesome.
Yes, and you have definitely been one of our all-time favorite guests. Everything that we do with you goes totally viral because you have so many great quotes and so much honesty. So we're looking forward to more of that. All right, so Maddie, as I said, you were on the show in April, so we already did a bunch of your background, how you got into racing. So we just kind of want to discuss more current events with you. And I would like to start off with Caravel. Tell us all about this Breeders' Cup winning horse and your connections there.
All right. Well, that was a great first question to take us through the whole show because I could talk about it. So Caravel obviously is like one of my favorite horses ever. I haven't ridden her in a race, but she's my heart horse. And she just recently won the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint against the boys. And Lizzie Merriman used to train her and own her. She was the old trainer, owner, and breeder. And Lizzie taught me how to ride. Caravel was one of the first horses I got on when I went to Lizzie's barn to learn to gallop.
Very cool.
And before she got very keen and race ready. And I was able to go to the races with her while Lizzie owned and trained her. And then, she won in Saratoga and she sold to Bobby Flay. And then they sold her again. And now she's in Brad Cox's barn. And I got to visit her. And I went to Keeneland for the Godolphin Flying Start program. I got nominated for the Newcomer Award. And so Lizzie and I made the stop to go see her, and she looked amazing. And just, she looked very happy and very like herself.
Awesome.
So we did think she was going to run good, and she definitely did.
Oh, yeah, that was very impressive. And she's so pretty, too. I just love all of the pictures and posts on her. I'm here for all that. Oh, what a horse.
Yeah. Probably the prettiest and fastest horse I've ever been around.
Yeah, that was a good way to start. So
yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
So you just mentioned that you were nominated for what is it called again? The Newcomer Award for the.
Yeah. So Lizzie Merriman actually nominated me for the Newcomer Award for the Flying Start program, Godolphin Flying Start program. And I was a finalist, which meant the world to me. It was awesome. We got to go to Kentucky and meet a lot of people, go to the breeding farms, the stallion farms, and go to the races. It was amazing and a great experience.
Oh, yeah. And I loved all of the media that they did with you, your interview with that. That was so spectacular. I am not in the least bit surprised that you were a finalist, but you were nominated for that, and you won a Jockey of the Month award at Tampa last year, which, as I've said, the Tampa riding colony cannot be overstated. We have some of the biggest and best in the game, in my opinion. Like, to get that award is really a huge deal, you know? So
Yeah.
how does it make you feel to get those recognitions of your craft? And I mean, and these are not just like apprentice things, like the Jockey of the Month. It's not an Apprentice Jockey of the Month. Like you won Jockey of the Month outright.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how does that feel when you get that kind of, you know, boost?
An overwhelming amount of confidence, honestly. Like you said, it's not just out of apprentices, it's out of all the jockeys, and the jockey colony at Tampa's tough. You know, there's a lot of jockeys, and going into Tampa, Juan Arriagada really got me started. He gave me amazing opportunities. He is a big reason I did so well last year in Tampa, and I'm extremely grateful to Juan and Allison for that. And but I went to Tampa thinking, okay, I'll ride a couple races here and there. Hopefully I could ride a race a week. That's what I told myself, because I knew it was tough. But I really just wanted to get experience and breeze horses and do what I can to make sure I was really ready and win my 5th race when I get to either Delaware or Monmouth, wherever I would end up going. And then, Juan and I were communicating, and he told me, like, you work hard and I can give you this opportunity. And he put me on my first winner, Sancocho.
Yeah.
And after that, I started riding more and winning more, and I lost my 10 pounds to go to 7. So my year started. So once your year starts, you gotta go, no stop then. So it kind of just took off, and I learned a lot. I met amazing people. The jockeys were all very helpful. Juan was very helpful. I couldn't have asked for, I think, a better start to my career.
Sure, absolutely. And we've got a comment here from John De Silva. I remember when Maddie started career at Delaware, I called charts there, and her second career start, she almost won. She worked her butt off in the stretch and didn't look like a bug. She impressed me that day. Yeah, that I actually saw you breaking your maiden, I think is the first race that I saw, because I'm not as big into Delaware as I am Tampa. Obviously, it's my backyard. I'm there every day. Yeah. So I saw that race and I was like, wow. And I think you were already with Eddie Joe maybe or something. And I just texted him like, are you kidding me? Like, where did this girl come from? She does not look like a 10-pound bug. He's like, I know. It was so cute. But yeah, you have always ridden impressively. You've done nothing but improve. I mean, obviously you've had more time now, and so excited for the Tampa meet. But I just wanted to revisit some of your goals, because as I was researching this episode, I was literally laughing out loud. Let's go over your goals for 2022 and whether or not you met those. You had mentioned that you wanted to win at least 5 races for 2022. So you've definitely blown past that. What are you at now? Like 54? Is that right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So goal met. Check. Okay. You said that you wanted to ride at least 1 race at Colonial Downs. You rode 1 and you won 1. So congratulations there. You're just crushing everything. You also won a race at Gulfstream Park recently. You didn't specifically list that as a goal, but as we all know, the best of the best are at Gulfstream.
Obviously a goal.
Sure. And you won 1 at Belmont, technically. I mean, Belmont at the Big A, but it's the Belmont meet. You won 1 there. I mean, you won several there, right? So
yeah, I won 2 there. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I mean, that's amazing. So we just want to know, so we can visit back later and laugh. What are your goals for 2023 now? What are your goals for this meet? Like, what are you kind of psyching yourself up for?
The top one is definitely notice improvement. And I like being able to watch races from the beginning of the meet. Saying like, okay, and then from where I am then, whether it's halfway through the end of the meet or even a month in, knowing like, okay, I'm riding better than then, see the improvement. That's very important to me.
Yeah.
I really loved riding in Gulfstream. I would like to go there whenever I can. The race days kind of interfere, but maybe there will be some other times I can get to go ride there. And I really just my biggest goal is to keep moving after I lose the bug and at the end of January.
Yeah.
I would love to get to like 60 winners just before I lose the bug. That's, I'd be very happy. Even if I got more, I'd be extremely happy. But, when you set these goals for yourself, I think it makes you work harder towards them. It gives you motivation to not stop, to not give up. And, when you have goals that isn't impossible, and you've proven in the past that you can make these goals, set these goals, and, achieve them, then you get to set more and you get to achieve more goals and be proud of yourself. Because if you're not proud of yourself and you're not a little confident, it makes this sport very hard.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about this summer and what you learned, once you had your time away from Tampa, all the things that you kind of picked up on during your apprentice year there.
So I obviously, I started, I went to Delaware right after Tampa. Sure. The track is extremely different. The riders, it's a different riding style. There's different riders. And I had to learn, it's a deeper track. Tampa's a pretty fast track, speed track. And Delaware's not really like that. So I kind of had to adapt to that. I was able to I was in the jockey's room with Carol Sedano and Aubrey Green a lot, and they helped me a lot. Any questions I had, they answered, because they've ridden in Delaware a couple of years. Well, Carol's been there a while. And so they were very helpful. They told me what I should work on. And I took it, as much as I could, and I practiced it, and I put it to use, what they would help me with. And then I ended up switching my tack to Monmouth, just because Delaware, it wasn't working out too much for me. I wanted to do better. And I went to Monmouth. I got a great agent, John Chiametta. Scotty Silver was my agent in Delaware, and Scotty put me in touch with him. And I was riding a lot. I went late in the meet, and I won, I think, 4.
Nice.
Which, was all right. But I was still riding and learning a lot, riding with a great jockey colony that was there to help me. And I got to, really work on switching my stick, being patient in a race, staying comfortable in your position, not, freaking out when you're in a tight spot and get to the outside. Just wait. I was able to really work on that and just things like that. And then I went to Meadowlands after Monmouth, and I finished second in the standings there.
Nice.
So it's a short meet, but that's pretty cool. Just to be in, that close up there.
Right.
And I love turf racing, and that's all turf.
Very cool.
So I really got to enjoy riding on the turf there, and, practice makes perfect. We're not all perfect, but, practicing every race is on the turf,
Sure. Yeah. So we have we've got a few comments here. Okay. So John De Silva says, I think she missed Eddie Joe when she left Tampa. Glad she's back with him. Everyone who's not with Eddie Joe misses Eddie Joe. Okay. Let's just make that clear.
Eddie. I did. Eddie, he's awesome.
He's so lovable. That's my favorite. Okay. And we have another comment here from Ronaldo Delgallo. Do you favor regulations governing how many times a jockey can whip his horse, or do you think that ought to be completely up to the jockey? Oh, we're getting political here. What are your thoughts on the HISO rules?
I think that HISO means well for the sport. I think it's more for people outside of the sport that want to look in our sport, that have nothing to do with it, that know nothing about it, and say, we beat our horses, we make them run, and they don't want to. And, the chaos like that. I think that's more what HISA is for, to, they don't want PETA to shut us down or any of that. So honestly, safety precautions when we have a horse lugging in or lugging out, like that should be up to the jockey on how many times we hit our horse, because that is for our safety, for everybody else in the race's safety. But it's our laws now, so we are, we're making it work. There's some horses that definitely need the whip to focus, to keep running, and there's some horses that don't need it at all.
Sure.
I do think that the whips we were made to use before HISA, they don't hurt. You can hit yourself in the face with them as much as you want. They don't hurt.
Yeah.
And now the 360 whips we have to use, they definitely do not hurt. So the horses are fine.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I want to take a whip to some of those HISA regulators and show them, see, that didn't hurt that much, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
And we got another question here from Joseph Giuliano. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering names. I can barely see people. Okay. So I'm trying to peer into this little screen. Okay. He says, when you see other apprentices struggle after losing their bugs, such as Jessica Pfeiffer does it scare you or motivate you?
A little bit of both. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily scared to lose the bug and what's going to happen. I definitely believe, everything in life happens for a reason. I think it will motivate me a lot. I'm a pretty motivated person when it comes to this sport. I love my job. I love the horses. Most of the people I love. And, it's a little scary, seeing that, like, some bugs, when they lose their bug, it doesn't always work out right away, but they do end up coming back. Jessica's still riding very good, and she is still winning. And I just, we just have to see. I've been told from some journeymen that they did good with the bug, and then when their bug ended, they had a little break, and then they started doing good again. And I've had people, the journeymen, that say, like, yeah, I did all right with the bug, but then after I lost the bug, I was really doing good,
Right.
So it's just whatever happens, I think.
Do you think some of that has to do with you get better horses while you have the bug in the weight break, and then when you don't have it, some of those same horses you're not getting? Do you think it has something to do with that?
I think, well, first, horses make jockeys. Jockeys don't make horses.
You're killing me here. Rich and I always have this argument. I will still. You guys are very humble, but you guys do a lot more than what people think.
It's not always easy, but I think bugs are given, at least in my situation, especially with the 5 pounds now. I ride, for example, Mike Deeney. Mike Deeney has been an amazing supporter of mine, giving me extremely great opportunities. He put me on my first winner in New York. And he has given me horses that have won without the bug. They don't need the bug. They're in a perfect spot. They're set up to win that race without the bug, but he still puts me on. That means a lot to me, because he's not just putting me on because the horse really needs the weight off. It's in a tough spot. And then you do get horses where, sometimes, you got to enter in a tougher race, and hopefully 5, 7, whatever, how many pounds you have will help a little bit. The weight break will help, or you get on a horse that has never had 113 pounds before, or whatever, has never had a light weight before, and they feel that and they actually go. So it all just depends.
So how do you feel different? You were here on April. What do you feel like now compared to what you felt like in April?
Happy. That's same.
Same. Okay.
I still love it. I'm still living my best life, doing what I love.
I just have to say too, like I was out there taking pictures this morning, and I'm blind without my glasses, so I'm out there. I can't really see. I'm just like snapping people. I'm like, I'll figure out who it is later. Your smile just like boom shone through the camera. Even my blind self could see it. I'm like, oh, it's Maddie. Like, and that picture was so cute. I loved it when I downloaded it. I was like, oh my god.
Get it framed. I'm gonna print it out.
Oh, thank you. I'll send you one without the watermark then, because I know I got my little name on the bottom.
I'll buy it from you. I love it.
Oh, girl, please. I don't charge.
So now that you've traveled around, you've won. I don't even know what's your win tracks up to, like 7, 8, at least.
Different tracks.
Yeah.
So, sorry.
You got go ahead.
Parks, Colonial, Meadowlands, Monmouth, Delaware, Tampa, Gulfstream.
Okay. 8, 7.
And yeah, I think, yeah.
So now that you've shared the room with so many jockeys, have you had that, oh my God, I'm in the room with this person moment yet?
Chantel Sutherland, Emma Jane Wilson. Yes.
Chantel loves you, by the way. She was on our show and
yes.
mentioned your name. And she was like, oh my God, I love her. She's so well-spoken. She's so nice. She's so like about her business and professional. Like she adores Chantel's you. So it's mutual.
She's the best. When I first, I told her this too. When I first rode, when she shipped into Tampa last year, I was like saying to Skylar, I was like, oh my God, Chantel's here. Oh my God. And then I was talking to her and realized, okay, she's really cool. And then and I told her, I was like, not gonna lie, it was a little fangirl girl crush moment. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's how I felt interviewing her. I get it.
And she's always been so humble. You're gonna be in that spot. Right? You're gonna be in that spot in about 20 years.
You're gonna be in that spot
where you're gonna be that humble superstar.
Yeah,
I hope so.
We've got a comment here from John De Silva just highlighting that. Maddie was great when interviewed on TV after her New York wins. Definitely has a future on air in some capacity down the road when her career is over in a couple decades. I agree, because I'm a huge fan of yours. I follow everything you do. So I've seen all of these, post-race interviews and whatnot pop up. Girl, you're 19. That blows my mind. You're so well-spoken and you just know exactly what you're talking about. You have these great points and I'm like, who is this? I still don't talk that way and I'm 29, just so I can only imagine how smart you'll sound years from now.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate it. I don't know. I like to talk. I like to communicate, and especially when it's about horse racing. Everybody knows I love it. I can't stop saying I love it. But I don't even know. I just enjoy talking about the sport, and honestly, I like the publicity. I like the attention.
Yeah, it suits you really well. Some jockeys are so awkward, and you just shine in that capacity. So definitely,
I'm so grateful for opportunities like that, because I can also go back. Even when I did this interview last year, in April, I can go back and watch it. And I'm like, oh my gosh, the goals I set then, I've met most of them. And I could talk about this, and now I can talk about it better because I have more experience. And just being able to look back on, where you were a little bit ago and how far you've come is super important. And it's just memories, honestly. Yeah.
So what's great about this comment, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, Jamie, but what's great about this comment is we've had every single one of these on or will have them on this show.
Yeah. Yes, it is true. So we've got another comment from Joseph Giuliano. I hope I said it right this time. He's got a great input here. I would just like to say horse racing has never been as exciting and diverse. Women like you and Jessica and Gage Holmes, Kylie Jordan, Sophia Banderella, etc., are creating a very cool time for the sport. I agree. I love the ladies of horse racing, and they're very representing our sport really well. It's not like, okay, we're giving a handicap to ladies because they're girls. Oh no, like these are the creme de la creme, you know?
And they're riding good. Like,
yes.
The women in the sport, like right now, I mean, obviously we've had amazing women in the sport in the past and still do, but the apprentices or even, you know, new journeymen like Kylie Jordan and Jessica Pfeiffer, they are brilliant riders.
Yes.
I sadly haven't got to meet them in person, but I, you know, watch them ride, and I've seen some of their interviews, and I look at them and I'm like, this makes me so happy for women in horse racing, because as women, we need to root for other women, because it's like when the bug is hot, all the bugs are hot.
That's true. That's true.
When women start doing good, more women start doing good. So we need to root for each other.
Yeah.
So now,
ahead,
I was going to end this because I don't want to but I know Jamie wanted to go here too, and we know your thoughts from it on April. But you said about you like publicity, but what comes with that publicity is Jamie and I have seen. I obviously don't experience it, but I'm on the social media and I see it.
You do though. You do experience it because you've got to feel those comments now.
Yeah, but I'm not going to say I experience it because, but I see it. Like I said, I see it way more on social media. Doing it for here, doing part-time for TVG. Has that changed at all? Have you experienced more of that now that you're becoming more popular?
Like more of the sexism and.
I mean, I'll be honest, like my opinion in like with sexism and racing, like I don't want to be considered a good female jockey. I just want to be considered a good jockey. Yeah. I do, like I said, I support women in horse racing because we do need to work together, whether we like it or not. You know, there's women and there's men in horse racing. There's still a little separation between it. But to get rid of that separation, we need to root for each other so we all start doing better. I haven't luckily experienced too much negativity through social media and the publicity. I don't know if I'm not looking hard enough or
don't look for it. You just stay in your lane and do your thing, girl.
Yeah. I think I've gotten like 2 hate messages through Facebook, and then I go to their profile and I'm like, oh, I'm not answering you.
Okay. Quick story. This is funny. I was getting a lot of really hateful, sexist messages from someone, and I was like, what on earth? So it was on Twitter. So I go and I look on his Twitter, and he had 1 follower. So I sent back to him. I couldn't help but get catty. I was like, stop attacking me, bro. You lose your 1 follower, then what? I looked literally 10 minutes later, he lost his follower. I was like, okay, all right. But anyway, so that kind of
brings me. How does that feel?
I know. Yeah. Kind of brings me to another question. So I saw a quote from you that I really love. I'm just going to look down here so I can quote it exactly. You said, whenever I get on a filly who has never run good with guys on her, I think of it as a restart. So why do you think that fillies you can get more response out of them sometimes than the guys who haven't been able to get them to run? What do you think is going on there?
Kudos to Caravel, because Caravel really taught me how to work with a tough filly. She was
full circle.
Yeah, she was difficult to be around. I rode her a little bit, and she was difficult to ride, but really working around her taught me of course, all horses, I've realized now it's not so much just fillies, but fillies, they can be a little more nervous. They have more feelings. Like this says, I don't want to sound like this, but like,
right. Yeah, it's true.
And I still think like sometimes I get on horses in the morning and a trainer will tell me like she's really tough, like the biggest guy in the barn can't like get her to the pole or anything, and like I'm going to breeze her. Then she's like a pony because I just let her do whatever she wants or just talk to her and sing to her, and, whatever. And I think it's more, I realize now, just if you let a horse be a horse and you're sitting there just letting them do your thing, helping them out a little bit, that's when a horse will really trust you. Not beat up on them, just kind of go with the flow, and you'll get more of a response out of a horse that way, I think.
Sure.
So you mentioned about turf racing and love turf racing. What do you love about the turf racing compared to the dirt?
I like that it's a lot more, I guess you'd say, like, mechanical. It's Hector Diaz actually said this, and I 100% agree with him. He said, I can't quote him exactly, but he said that to win a race on the turf, you don't always need to have the best horse. You need to have the best trip, which I do agree with. Of course, if you're on the best horse, you're on the best horse, and no matter what happens, you're winning. That we get horses like that sometimes, but if you can give your horse a clear ground saving trip, if you can save your ground, sit comfortably the whole way, and then a gap or a hole opens up and you can take it, and your horse is nothing stopping them, you're going to get a lot of run out of them. And I just think that doesn't always happen on the dirt. It's very important to have a nice clean trip. You don't want to get I don't want to get dirty. I don't think the horse does, but we do anyway. But you want to keep your horse clear and everything, and you do want to do that on the turf because you're in a tighter position most of the time. So it is a bit more mechanical, and I like that about it. I like that you have to think to save ground, and you have to, even though you're at the 3/8 pole, you're still, you need to wait, you need to be patient. And then if a gap isn't opening up, you wait, because it will, and you'll get the chance to make a bigger gap with being safe, and you take it if you have the horse. And the feeling of like making it through and, winning after you had to kind of is awesome. So
I heard a quote. Now tell me if this is accurate, but it was actually a quote from Andy Biancone where she said that breezing on the turf is like Mario Kart Go when you hit the mushroom. Like you're like, is that true?
Kind of, yeah. Yeah. Turf racing, because I've only been riding on the turf for, well, not even a year now. I just love it a lot. I was able to ride some like NSA races on it, but it's different. The flat track, you have to be very tight, and it's not down and around, downhills, uphills, around turns. But you will go from having a good hold on your horse, stuck behind horses, forced to wait, and then a gap will open up, and you don't even have to ask. Your horse just goes, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I do agree with that.
Very cool. And I've got a few more comments here. I mean, you're blowing up. Everyone loves you. I have nothing to say about this comment, but I better include it or he'll be mad. Willie Martinez says, Maddie, my wife is obsessed with you. You have done so awesome. We wish you the very best. Ride smart and ride safe. I wouldn't say obsessed. Okay, come on.
Can I add to that? There are certain
Thanks,
people.
Willie.
There are certain people Rich and I've had on the show, and then Willie came along. Jamie came along and has demanded, hey, you got to get this person back on and make sure it's my week. And you're one of those people.
Yeah, I was like, Maddie's on my week, okay?
I appreciate it.
And we have another comment here from Ronaldo. When you go a fourth of a mile and then a half of a mile in a race, can you really tell if the pace is fast or slow? I ask because if I wasn't watching the posted fractions, I could never tell. Yeah, like how much can you feel the timing out there and how your pace is?
It took me a little bit to get my times down. And that's not just for the races, even in the mornings. Not a little bit, but it takes practice. If you're on the inside, or you can kind of like look at the inside rail and notice how fast you're going by it. And the wind in your face, you can just realize, and how your horse is striding, you can just realize, okay, like if you're in a mile-long race, you don't want to go 22 flat. You want to, if you can, 24, amazing. And you'll be able to feel if the hold you have on your horse, how they're relaxing, gives you that pace. If you are going too slow in a sprint race, like you'll feel it, because sprinting, we go fast. There's not a whole, you hold, but it's not like a distance race. You're kind of going a little more, and you feel the difference when you're sprinting and you're going slower times. But it's just, I guess, practice, and experience. This time last year, when I haven't even won my first race yet, you could tell me we went in 18 seconds for a quarter of a mile, and I believe you.
Yeah.
So.
And we've got another question here. I love it. I love the interaction from our viewers. Thank you, guys. You make mine and Sean's job so much easier. We appreciate it. So what is your daily routine here at Tampa Bay Downs, Maddie?
So
other than getting licenses for 7 hours. Sorry, Go ahead.
Seriously. Once you're licensed, after standing in line for a while. But I get to the track. I have my coffee on the way. I get on. Sometimes it's different. Sometimes I get on my first horse at around 6:30, and sometimes it's right when the track opens. But if it's not right at 6, I don't get there much later than 6:30. And I get on a couple. I've been getting on some for Jose Delgado first thing, and Kathy Gucciardo, just people that help me out in the afternoon that I want to help out in the mornings. So I'll gallop a few. I usually gallop like 3 or 4 a day. And then breezing if there's breezers that come up, or if Eddie texts me the day before, hey, we have this time. And yeah, and then I do all that, go walk around, see people, and go home. Well, if I have races, which I'm so excited for tomorrow, I feel like I'm so bored. But if I go for a walk, if I go for a run, it's still not enough, enough things to do, because nothing can compare to horse racing. So yeah, I get home around 11, and we'll work out if I'm not racing that day. Excited I don't have to work out tomorrow because I'm racing. So
I consider that a workout.
It is, but a fun workout.
And we've got another question here from John De Silva. What is on top of your bucket list for track to ride at, race to ride in, jockey to be involved in a stretch duel and win the photo? Ooh, that's a interesting question. I haven't heard that one.
Well, I don't know. It's just, it's really nice just winning a photo finish.
Right.
No matter who it is. Sometimes it does just come down to the head bob. So I can't really give actually I'll say it, and I hope he's watching, just because he's my friend and everyone. Hector Diaz.
I was going to say, it's going to be a friend or a rival when she says who she's going to say.
Hector, if you're watching, you've been challenged. Come on the show.
Yeah. No, Hector's helped me so much with riding, and he's an amazing person and a phenomenal rider. So that's more of as a joke. But if that ever comes up, I hope I meet him. And I would really just love the opportunity to ride in England.
Oh, okay.
I would love to meet Holly Doyle
Sure.
and Frankie Dettori. They're two of my like idols. I don't really have like a particular track in England. I would just like to kind of go international eventually and travel while doing, what I love. So
Very cool.
Yeah. Is there a reason for the international love?
Well, I'd love to go to England because my dad was from England. I have family there, and the where he was from, jump racing is very popular there, and I do love jump racing, but I'd like to dip into the flat racing part of the UK.
And then you mentioned tomorrow. Have you looked at the entries for tomorrow? And can you tell us about your horses?
I think I'm excited for all of them, honestly. Hopefully the one of Mike Deeney's first-time starters. Hopefully it'll be on the turf. I'm not sure what kind of rain we'll get tonight, but we'll have to see because I was really looking forward to riding the turf tomorrow. Here, it looks so beautiful. I've been looking at it every morning, and I ran on it because I'm so excited to ride on it.
Yeah. Tampa is looking really nice right now. They've done a good job. So
yes, they have. They have an amazing turf course.
Yeah.
But
you
I'm
mentioned about
for all of them, honestly. All my entries tomorrow, I think, could run well.
Yeah, you mentioned about getting to 60 wins. You have 5 mounts tomorrow, so it could happen tomorrow.
It could.
Yeah.
It
could. Wouldn't that be awesome? Opening day.
Yeah. And we've got a comment here from Joseph. So I love horses and have really enjoyed any time I've ever ridden, but I would never be able to do what you do because I'm scared. What is it that jockeys have that allow you to ride a 1,200-pound animal so fast?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess we're just from Crazy Town. Honestly. Yeah. It's when you put it like that, right? 1,200-pound animal, like it sounds crazy.
Yeah, jockeys are built different mentally.
For sure. Yeah. If you have a heart for it and you really love it and that's what you've always wanted to do, you will do it. And I think if you grow up in horse racing and you do like it and love it, you don't really you're not always thinking about like how scary and dangerous it is. Sure. It's just what you grew up around and what you're used to and kind of like a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Do you do anything else extreme in your life? Roller coasters, that kind of stuff?
I hate roller coasters. I'm scared of roller coasters. I kind of I'm not really scared of flying, but like heights.
Oh my goodness.
Roller coasters.
I can't.
It's weird.
This is a common thing among jockeys, okay?
I'm scared to drive, honestly.
My husband has been riding for over 35 years, and this man, I cannot get him to go to Busch Gardens with me. He's like, I'll take the kids to like the little train. Like, we'll meet up. I'm like, what? Like, why? He's like, I don't like that stuff. It's scary. I'm like, I have no words.
It's weird. It's scary to me. I agree with Willie, honestly. It's scary.
What's weird is there's some jockeys that are like you and Willie, and then there's other jockeys like you can't name a thing that they don't do.
Yeah. I know a few. They're like, let's go bungee jumping, jump out of a plane. No, thank you. Maybe one day, but right now it's scary.
Well, Maddie, I just have a quick question for you. So the last show that you were on, you gave us what I believe is our most quotable, most famous thing that has come out of all of horse racing today. And that was when they asked you, what advice do you have for young women in racing? You said, don't take anyone's shit. That has been like kind of a theme that we've come back to over and over again on this show. So in light of your excellent advice, do you have any new advice to impart to young people in racing, people trying to get in the business, people trying to break in?
Now, definitely. Don't take anyone's bullshit. Take some shit because you'll learn a lot from it.
Oh, okay. Very interesting.
Don't put up with the bullshit, but you're going to hear a lot of shit. Take it in, pick out what will help you, and learn from it.
Oh, I like that. Very good. Yeah, I've heard good advice can come from bad places. So even listen to people that you really might not want to listen to.
You can learn something from everyone, no matter where they are in life, no matter who they are. Someone can always teach you something. And even the best jockeys, that the worst, anybody, we're all still learning. And I love learning, especially about something like this, that I want to make my career and I want to be as good as I can be. So, sometimes we got to take in some of the shit, leave the bullshit, and go on with yourself, because that's how we improve.
For sure. And I got a couple other quick comments here. Sorry, Sean, I feel like I keep jumping in front of you, but there's so much coming up. I'm like, oh, we got to get to this. Okay. So John De Silva says, I think we need to get a North American all-female team for the Sugar Cup jockey competition at Royal Ascot so Maddie can ride there. Interesting. Good to think about.
Good
and
idea.
We have a comment from Terry Hay. Great show with Maddie Rowland. She is a spark plug. She is a spark plug. That's true. Inside and out.
So I like how she likes the publicity too, because do you realize how many times we've quoted you or come back to the show in April and been like, we've had Maddie on and she just had this great attitude. And Jamie has done the same thing since she's come on. So I don't know if you realize how many times you've been brought up from April till now, but
I do watch the show whenever I am like, especially like Eddie or Jose Gomez, and I watch them and I was like, oh my gosh. And I watch Chantel, and I don't watch it every day, every time you guys have it.
Well, you're pretty busy.
When I'm looking and I sometimes I see like 8:00 on my phone, I'll be instantly think like, oh my gosh, we're tracing let's look and see if they're live.
Nice.
That's awesome, because Rich and I always wonder, and I'm sure Jamie wonders the same thing, how much do people inside of horse racing besides our guests actually know about us?
Yeah, I mean, just like 30 minutes before I came up here, I was talking to my neighbor, Susan, and I was like, well, Sue, I got to, get going. I got an interview. An interview? Well, for what? And she knows I'm a jockey. I told her, I was like, do you want to watch it? Like, it's pretty cool. They do it every week. And, all the support they could get is awesome. She's like, yeah. I sent her the link, and hopefully she's watching. So,
yeah, for sure.
I don't think she really has anything to do with horse racing, but there's a lot of people, whether it's spectators, bettors, people in, working with the horses. Like, this is such an amazing platform to get recognized, to get information from, to, make connections with people, find new people to watch and to learn from. It's awesome.
Well, thank you for that.
Thank you. We definitely need to. I still say, and every bettor will chop my head off for saying this, but we need to have other things for the fans that don't bet hundreds of dollars as far as getting into the sport.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got one more question here. Sorry. I know we're just way over our time. Our guests are too cool. The half-hour thing does not apply anymore. Okay. So Ronaldo says, do you see yourself being a trainer many decades from now after your career as a jockey winds down? Yeah. Like, what do you think? Like, eventually, I mean, we're talking far down the road because obviously you're killing it as a writer, but people have talked about media, training. Do you have any idea, or are you just kind of like, whatever happens, we'll get there when we get there?
I have some ideas. My biggest idea, honestly, I want to breed and sell Welsh ponies.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. I like that.
So I grew up horse showing. I still have him, Razzle Dazzle. He's a Welsh pony. and he dropped me like every time I rode him. Like he taught
Well,
me
he trained you well.
yeah, he taught me the hard way. And I hope I'll always I don't think hopefully I don't get fat, but I think I'll always be tiny enough to ride the Welsh ponies, and if I could breed and sell them, I love ponies and horses. I want to do something like that. I've thought about training. If I could train and own and ride all my own, I'd love that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Is there a rule against that?
No, I think so. If you have an owner and trainer's license for your own horse, I think you're only allowed to ride your own horses, something like that.
Yes, I have definitely seen people who only ride their horses that they train. So I know it's a thing. So
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But we have some time until I need to figure out what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
plenty of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
We ask a lot of people that come on our show that question, but to ask somebody 19 that's just starting out her career, there's no reason to get to all that.
Well,
I don't know.
I'm a very big planner, so I like a plan.
Awesome. Well, Sean, you got anything else? I feel guilty keeping you this long the night before big opening day, but it's hard to cut it off. This is great.
We kept her long enough. We'll have her on again because don't worry, we will definitely get you back on, and you always answer the call. So
yes, I'd love to.
We enjoyed having you on, and definitely we'll be rooting for you tomorrow and all the meet at Tampa.
Thank you guys so much.
Yes, good luck. I'll be there. I'm going to hop in your win picture one of these days. I'm just going to come in. Like, I know you guys don't know me, but I know her. All right.
An invitation from me if it's tomorrow and you're there, hop in.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much, Maddie. We appreciate it, and we will wish you good luck tomorrow and in the future.
Thank you guys so much.
Have a good night.
Thanks, Maddie.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Big head, Sean.
I should just put that in my nickname as I hit you.
Right, yeah. Yes, absolutely. Oh, she's so wonderful. Like, wow.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What a great
cat. I don't know how you don't root for her, And
I think a lot of people do.
Yeah, and we say that about a lot of, I'm telling you, it's a horse racing thing. I haven't run into really anybody that's not really. I mean, you get those occasional ones, and I wouldn't even know because those ones are usually the ones that wouldn't respond. But I'll say 95% of the people do respond, and they're great. So, and I can tell you also that we get like 5 minutes before we go live, and we do it privately when we're messaging them or whatever to bring them on the show. And they're the same as they are when they're on the camera. So it's not just a show neither. I mean,
that's true. And we've got a quick comment here. Just thank you for the knowledge drop, John De Silva. Clyde Smarting and Kirsten Swan owned, rode, and trained their horses. Good to know.
Nice.
Question.
Yeah, I thought that was more of a thing. I know harness racing, they do a lot of that.
Right. Okay, perfect. All right. So another wonderful interview for Maddie. We are so pumped about Tampa Bay Downs opening tomorrow. At least I am. And tomorrow we have another great guest who I'm super excited to bring on the show, Miss Kylie Wellington, who currently is working as an assistant trainer, but has designs on the future for, she's not even sure what, because she does a little bit of everything, maybe training, maybe being a jockey. Like, we'll discuss all of those plans with her tomorrow and see what new information she has for us. And what else do we have going on, Sean?
Then we'll have the Daily Show. Tomorrow it should be Rich and Charles, and then they'll do it again Thursday, and then Friday they have the International Show, and we'll have the NFL show later at 10 o'clock at night on Friday. And then also we got the Picks with the Professor you can check out, pickswiththeprofessor.com. Yes. He covers all the other sports besides the NFL, so, and sitting at good numbers. So definitely want to check him out if you bet on other sports.
We got a couple other quick comments here. People just basically saying, great show. Thank you so much. We appreciate the love. And I have a couple very special guests with me tonight to help us end the show in our way that we love to. No, go around the other way. Go around the other way. So tonight I have with me jockey Antonio Gallardo's daughter, Krista. She's here. And then also my daughter, Kinsley. Come on this side. That way you guys can both be on camera. Okay, here they are. And they just want everyone to know that whether it is at Tampa Bay Downs or wherever you will be doing your watching or betting or whatever of racing, we hope that we see you in the
Winner's Circle.
Yes. All right, everyone. Have a
Winner's
good night.
Circle.
Oh, there, Blake joined in too. Perfect. Good night, everyone.